feel sick.
No, you don't.
I'll freeze. My mind will go blank and I won't know what to say.
All you've got to do is tell him what you saw.
My belly is going round like the inside of a washing machine.
Well, take a deep breath then. Just keep it short and stick to the facts, okay? Funny. You're not usually stuck for words, are you?
Need there, the fines officer.
Seen happier turkeys come Christmas Eve. What's the matter?
You don't want to get me started.
If they're giving you a hard time at work, you should tell them to stick their job and their big fat...
My firm are looking for another partner, and I've been asked if I'm interested.
Well, that's fantastic.
More responsibility, bigger workload.
A huge pay rise. Yeah, you're right. Terrible news. Oi! Desmond, where's the fire?
Sorry, ladies.
Watch it.
Some of us have got work to do.
What's come over him?
Never guess it was the first day of term, would he?
Hugh, everything in order?
Yeah, ready to rumble.
Good, then let's get started. Excuse me.
Morning. Fighting fit today, I trust?
Still breathing, so things can't be that bad.
Jules Bowen, Margaret Mathias. Margaret's joining us on the bench today.
I'm being Eric today. He phoned me last night, asked me to do a swap.
This is my debut.
Ah, that's why the trickier cases have been set next door.
Straightforward enough day.
Yeah. How long's this going to go on for?
What?
If you say so.
I'm just awaiting my boss's instructions, as I'm too immature to think for myself.
So there's no hope of putting this right? Fine. As long as we both know the score. Just have to wear an extra jumper to ward off the chill.
I know we went through it all before. But there's no harm in a quick refresher, is there? Better safe than sorry.
You don't think
No fear. Just an expression.
Thank you, Des.
Of what?
Taking care of me. A tiny case like mine. Didn't expect you to be so... attentive.
Excuse me. Yeah. Ah, Bob. He's my boss. Yeah, not at all. Yeah. Not at all. Always on standby. Okay.
Mal? Looking very smart this morning.
That's my brother's. Thought I'd better make the effort.
Perhaps he'll let you wear it for the christening. I expect the baby will be with us this time next week. Huh?
I know, my luck, I'll be locked up inside.
Come on now, Mal. No need to be so pessimistic. You've pitched in at the church, done more than your fair share, and I'll be telling the magistrates that. Most people we get sent think that community service is just a licence to sky, but you've done well. And I'm sure they'll take that into account. Have faith. Huh?
Natalie Ryan.
Just remember everything we discussed, okay? Right. Come on.
Bitch.
I just hope I don't mess it up.
You won't. I'll be there to guide you.
Can't go wrong with Val. She's been doing it longer than any of us. A wealth of experience.
It's very exciting, isn't it? All girls together. The Charlie's Angels of Court 2.
All right.
Mr. Reese, just wanted to confirm a few details with you about... would you like to go somewhere more private?
Not bothered. Mr. Singh, this is Reverend Llewellyn, he's the chief...
Yes, chief witness for the prosecution. How's you doing?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Singh.
If you'd excuse us.
I told you once, next time I take it off you, right?
Are you Natalie Ryan of 23 Penbrin Road?
Yes.
You were charged that on the 18th of March, you did cause criminal damage to a parked car belonging to Mr. Simon Richards. And furthermore, did steal the contents of a bag containing cash and personal belongings, contrary to the Theft Act of 1968, also belonging to Mr. Richards. At an earlier hearing, you pleaded not guilty. Is that still your plea?
Yes.
Simon Richards.
I'm on. Wish me luck. Short and to the point now, right?
He says they'll be sent down. To be honest, Mal, not good. Taking your past form into consideration, you'll be lucky, very lucky, to get less than 3 months.
What about my community service? Won't that count for anything?
Well, not since you committed the crime while you were doing it, no. I mean, they couldn't ask for a more reliable witness, and he saw you take the cash box.
So when he gets up there and tells his story, that's that.
He's a witness. He's got to tell the court what he saw.
Get up, mates. Thought it was you. Long time no see, eh? What's happening, bro?
Mr. Richards, could you please tell the court what you saw as you approached your vehicle in the early hours of the 18th?
Her. I saw her.
The defendant?
Yes, her.
And what was Miss Ryan doing that attracted your attention?
Sticking a brick through the car window, that's what she was doing. We were walking away from the clubs here. I was looking forward to my bed, but walking up Morgan Road.
And you were there with your friend...
That's right. Gareth Thomas. My partner.
Partner?
Boyfriend. 9 months next week. He doesn't like going out, mind. But I twist his arm, you know. Threatens to withhold conjugals if you catch my drift.
Still playing rugby then?
Nah, not for a couple of years now.
Me neither. My back started giving me jip, so I thought I'd better lay off for the season, right? 2 years later, still haven't pulled on the old boots. You're in good nick, man. What are you doing? Weights, is it?
Yeah, weights, bit of sparring down the gym.
All right. Expecting someone of you, mate?
Yeah, friend.
Anyone I know?
No.
All right.
Probably not. I tell you what, I might go and see if I can find him. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What is it, milk, no sugar?
Okay.
But on the night in question, you'd been at Lulu's nightclub on Morgan Road, hadn't you?
Well, it's 80s night come Saturday, so that's shoulder pads, mullets. Crimes in themselves, you might say. But usually it's Lulu's at the weekend. Unless we get a better offer, go up to Cardiff. Then we take the train.
Could we stick with what you did on the night, sir? As opposed to what you sometimes do?
We always park the car on Morgan Road, because I don't have to walk very far in my dancing shoes.
Mr. Richards.
I'm just painting a picture.
A little too vividly.
You got a problem with me wearing heels?
No. Got a problem with hearing your life story instead of evidence.
Mr. Davis may have a point.
We turn the corner, we see this one here smashing the window and opening the car door. I ran over, but I had my heels on. When she saw us coming, she panicked, didn't she?
And is that, Mr. Richards, when the defendant stole your handbag?
Handbag?
He says they'll be sent down. Think Ruth deserves that? You could walk away. And when you call, you won't be here.
Mal, please.
I'm not asking you to lie.
Good.
Just walk away. Walk away now before you call, then you won't be able to testify.
But it can't just vanish.
I'll be gone in minutes.
I've signed in now.
I'm not a bad man, Reverend. It's not like I've murdered anybody or anything. I just wanted to help my family.
I know that.
I don't expect you to cover up for me. I just need to buy some time. If you're not here, they'll adjourn and I can be with Ruth when she has the baby. But please, throw us a lifeline.
Mal, I believe that you took that money for the good of the baby. But it's not as simple as that for me. I have to tell the truth.
They ready?
I am sorry.
Hope you've sugared this.
You could do without the calories, mate.
Just let my missus worry about my waistline, Wayne. I do.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm Clive Edwards.
I've been caught this morning.
It was an accident. I really...
Sir, you'll need to explain yourself to the magistrates, not to me. Court number 2.
2. Right. And when will that be? I'm rather anxious to get back home as soon as possible.
Aren't we all?
Take a seat. You'll be called...
Lad. Sorry, that lad over there. Does he work here?
Mr. Weston? No.
Works for the local rag. It happened very quickly. I expected her to run off when I called out, but instead she came straight at us, towards myself and Mr. Richards, shouting at the top of her voice.
And what time would you say this was?
1:30. Mr. Richards and I had been at a local nightclub for a drink.
And it was on your way back to the car, in darkness, after a couple of beers, that you claim you saw the defendant grab your boyfriend's handbag. Sorry, partner's handbag. Miss Thomas?
Bonjour, Monsieur Weston.
Sir? Mr. Edwards, what are you doing here?
Well, Anthony, it's actually rather a sensitive matter.
When you say you were in a bit of a state,
My boyfriend had this streak in him, see, and he'd lash out. We'd been at the bar all night. Had a few too many, perhaps.
that's not a crime.
When he saw me chatting to Lewis, my ex, just chatting, he came over and grabbed me hard by the wrists. I knew I was in trouble.
Was this a familiar pattern?
Yes. And he had that look about him, you know? I had to get away.
Mr. Davis?
Apologies, Your Worships. Carry on.
I was never going to steal it. I wouldn't know how.
Am I right in believing you don't drive?
Yeah. Well, I passed my test, but I'm still nervous. But I thought there'd be money in the glove compartment, enough to get me home.
Where you would be safe.
Yes. So, I picked up the brick and threw it through the window. Then when I heard them, I panicked. I saw the bag and grabbed it. I needed to get home. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for any of this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Tip for the future, Margaret. All comments must be directed through the chair.
It was just such a surprise.
Yeah, well, we get all sorts through here.
Poor girl, she must have had a shock.
Yeah, she still committed a crime. It's criminal damage.
I think we can believe her story. I mean, she wasn't planning on stealing the car, was she? After all, she's probably as capable of hot wiring a car as I am.
And he was drawing unnecessary attention to himself.
So you see, Anthony, it isn't really a crime at all, is it? More a minor indiscretion, wouldn't you agree? But obviously, if you could see your way clear to keeping this away from the pages of your newspaper, I'd be terribly grateful.
My editor decides which stories go to print, not me.
Ah, but if you don't write the story, it won't be there for your editor to consider, will it?
I don't know if
Can you imagine the field day the kids would have at school if they found out about this? I'd never live it down. Please, help me.
I'd like to call the Reverend Rhydian Llewellyn.
Reverend Rhydian Llewellyn to court one, please. Rhydian Llewellyn.
I just don't see why they have to flaunt it.
Well, there's no denying that if Mr. Richards hadn't been frocked up, he'd still be in possession of his credit cards. No handbag, no snatch. If he hadn't been wearing high heels, he could have run off.
It's not the point. She robbed him. It was wrong.
You're very aggressive. I'm only discussing the issue.
Well, perhaps we've discussed enough. Fact is that it is criminal damage, whoever the victim or perpetrator, and she is guilty. So, how shall we proceed to sentence? She is, after all, a very scared young woman, not some young boy obsessed with fast cars.
And he's a strong, healthy young man.
Who deserves to be robbed because he's in drag.
Ladies, please. Let's have a bit of sensitivity and perspective, all right? So, what shall we say? £50 for the criminal damage and 50 for the theft?
Okay.
You were lucky they didn't come down on it, however.
Luck doesn't come into it, Ches. What you witnessed in that courtroom today was a top solicitor delivering a thoroughly prepared defense. You heard there were mitigating circumstances.
An invisible boyfriend.
I persuaded the magistrate to see the situation through my client's eyes. Accept the facts. I performed brilliantly.
Maybe, but your performance was nowhere near as polished as your client's. Difference of opinion, is it?
Cheryl here seems to be questioning my professionalism, Nita.
Yeah. And?
I'm hurt.
Ignore him, Nita. He's full of himself today, like every day.
You know what your problem is, Cheryl?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me anyway.
You're missing Mike. Remind me, Nita, why did Mike ask for that transfer again? Running away from something, wasn't it? Or was it someone?
There was nothing between Mike and me.
What's the pity, eh?
No, not at all. He's not my type. Far too many muscles for my liking. Don't like him chunky.
Oh, I. In with a chance, then, am I?
I said chunky, Des. Chubby, something else altogether. 15 all.
Reverend, where were you on the morning of the 20th of February?
Wel, o'n i'n paratoi ar gyfer yr oedfa pan glywes I sŵn yn yr eglwys. O'n i'n disgwyl I neb I alw.
Sorry, Reverend, you're testifying in Welsh?
Yes. Is there a problem?
Well,
I understand that I have the right to do so.
Indeed you do, but...
I don't remember seeing a request from the witness to do so, Your Worships. Did you inform this court in advance that you wish to testify in Welsh?
Well, no. Nobody asked.
No, you're quite correct, Reverend. You do have the right to address this court in Welsh.
But we should have been notified. It's too late now.
And normally, if two of the three sitting magistrates are Welsh speakers and the solicitors don't object, then we can proceed. However, on this occasion, since our clerk is not yet a Welsh speaker and arrangements were not made beforehand, then I'm afraid...
We'll have to adjourn.
Quite. The court is adjourned.
Court stand.
Hugh, Could you give me that report, please?
I hope that call was important.
It's my boss. Serious.
Your boss spends his days avoiding your calls. What's her name?
No, I'm handling a case for him. It's personal.
I watch you act day in, day out. Careful, Des.
Or what? You'll throw tea bags at me?
Welsh. Why? Give in. Scots and Irish did.
Try Mel. Biff,
Don't. I get enough of that at home.
when you come out with me tonight, I'll make you fall in love with Wales.
Belching, singing hymns and trawling over the past. Done it with Griff.
Ooh, can I have his number?
Are we that bad then?
Not all of you. Some of you are worse.
My hen laid a haddock and had it for tea. Please confirm your name and address for the magistrates.
Clive George Edwards, 15 Glasluch Crescent.
Mr. Edwards, it is alleged that on the 6th of this month you did urinate in a public place. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Pardon?
Guilty.
Thank you.
And a few quid and a slap on the wrists. Hardly worth the bother, is it? Some people just don't know the strain, do they?
Why'd you tell them I was your boyfriend?
I guess you are.
But they don't have to know that, do they? It's none of their business.
Start, not now, Gareth.
It's private.
If you don't want people knowing we're lovers, it's your problem. Deal with it.
You haven't got to broadcast it.
Sometimes I wonder whether it's me you're ashamed of or yourself.
I said it wouldn't be too painful, didn't I?
I think a better way is to spend 100 quid.
If you're free tonight, I thought you might want to come out in the MG.
What?
I know a little place we could have a quiet drink if you fancy it.
Reverend? Mr. Singh, I'm very sorry. I didn't know I needed to tell the court I'd be testifying in Welsh. But I really do feel more comfortable speaking my first language in situations like this. And since the right to do so has been won, I feel obliged to use it. I hope I haven't wasted too much of your time.
I'm glad Mal's going to be around when the baby's born. He's a lucky man.
You've pleaded guilty to the charge, Mr. Edwards. You'll be fined a total of £30. Mr. Edwards, do you understand?
Yes, but...
What?
Is that all?
The magistrates have fined you. You may go.
But I was expecting
These
to...
matters are dealt with very quickly, sir. You could have taken the option of pleading guilty by post. You may pay the fine today if you wish, or a fine notice will be sent to you in due course. Court rise.
Locked out of my house, no way of getting in. What else was I supposed to do?
So the old dear next door saw...
Everything, yes. Anyway, I take it you'll use your discretion in this instance, Anthony?
Of course.
Good.
By the way, it's Andrew.
Andrew, of course, yes. I knew I could rely on you, Andrew. Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Friend of yours?
Old French teacher.
I didn't know you spoke French.
I don't.
Peter Plonk. Peter Plonker peeved a clerk and made her stutter.
Peter Plonker thinks he's it, but he's a nutter. What is it this time?
He just called me in and made me very aware of my cultural shortcomings.
Did his worship say why he was late this morning?
No, but I'm pretty sure it was domestic. From what I hear, Mrs. Mansell's in a bad way. Mind you, living with Peter must be enough to drive anyone round.
Mr. Mansell! What can we do you for?
Just to let you know that later I'll be slipping home for a few minutes. If there's anything urgent, you can get me on my mobile.
Thank you. Thank you.
First lesson on my course. How to prevent your boss from landing herself in it.
I shall make tea by way of a thank you.
I've tasted your tea. I'm sorry, Kath. I've been a bit childish lately, you know. Dented male pride and all that.
That's okay. I guess I've been a bit defensive.
Yeah. It's all your fault, really.
Yeah. I've had a lot to contend with.
Yeah.
Not you.
What's up?
Oh, personal stuff. Boring, boring, boring.
I thought Paris helped.
Paris? Paris was an unmitigated disaster.
Shame.
Here you go, mate. Hope it's not too strong. The tea lady makes it like mad. All right?
Fabulous, thanks.
Well?
You going to introduce us? Oh, that's it. Walk off. Disown me. Shut it now. Oi, you pigeon!
I'm sure whatever the problem is, you and your friend can sort it out.
Not my friend. Simon! He's my boyfriend. Doesn't like to admit it, mind. On days like this, I don't exist, do I, Gar? Shut your face!
Sharon, no need for this, man.
Tell him that!
Look, cool head, all right? I mean, it's not a surprise. To be honest, Gal, we all suspected it anyway. One of the boys even started a sweepstake.
Hey, easy, easy.
Get off it! You stay there. Ambulance, now!
Yeah, I'll make sure of it. Yeah, I promise. They'll be there this time. Okay, Bob. Bye now.
Hey, that's mine!
Hey!
This is an articulate, intelligent man. He's perfectly capable of testifying in English. But you can't say that, can you?
Mr. Mansell!
See you next week.
Mr. Mansell!
I hope this won't take long. I've got to get back.
Grace has been found wandering the supermarket in a nightdress. When they asked her where she lived, she couldn't remember.
Where is she?
Outside.
I was just exercising my rights, that's all. Can I give you a lift, Cole?
Cheers, but no thanks. I promised one of the lads I'd meet him down the Red Lion if it was good news. I'd ask you too, but...
You ready? School teacher taught lesson after being caught short. Told you it was good, didn't I?
Not a very good signal. Can you possibly do this on H.W.